everyone, I'm Dan Weeks, your technology host for the Talk Around Town show, and welcome to this week's episode. I'm joined by Courtney Bailey, she's not sick anymore.
Yay!
And Colleen Masson, our entertainment host.
Hi guys.
And I'd like to point out I have a True Love knot, and I didn't strangle myself.
Okay, now this is what I find intriguing about that. And if you can explain who came up with it, but it looks to me like an Algerian love knot. So is that...
Well, love is in the name, so I don't know. Elliot True Love supposedly came up with it. And of course I have my Talk Around Town tie clip. But Elliot True Love, if you look him up on YouTube, he has a whole bunch of tie knots, and he purportedly is the one that came up with it. So I figured I'd give it a try, and it's kind of cool. It's got 4 quadrants. I don't know how well I did it.
It's like a heart. Maybe that's why, because the heart has
It looks a
4,
little like a heart.
and maybe that's why he called it. Or maybe
Well, he
it's
said
just
it's
True
like
Love
a T
his
because
name.
it's like that, so there's like 4 sections of it. I don't know. But I'm sure the True Love thing is relevant to his name. But anyway, we're here in Best Buy, and there's a lot of great products, great stuff. I was walking around a little bit before the show, and people love the Rosetta Stone commercial you did last week.
I'm a ham. You guys have to forgive me.
Well,
But
people
it's
love
good.
it.
If they liked it,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
great, you know?
We've been getting some good feedback. How was your week?
Good.
Did you rest up?
I did a lot. Lots of rest. Just slept it off.
Just slap it off. You can run it out of you, too. Like, I was sick a couple of weeks ago, and normally the first thing I do when I'm sick is I just go for a run.
Really?
And I bundle up and just go for a run and try to, like, sweat it out.
Yeah, I heard that works if you like just bundle up. I didn't do that.
There's a thing in Austria that when I was there last, my cousin Miriam told me about this stuff. She gave me, it's really kind of shady, because we were all shooting a travel show, and we met up with Miriam, and she gives me like this bundle of pills, and not illegal stuff, but it seemed really shady.
America.
She's like, here, take these, and I was like,
No,
what are
wasn't
they?
it powder?
Or powder? Yeah, it was
Yeah,
powder.
it was powder. That they don't sell here, and it's
It was like the vitamin C pouches,
Yeah.
the emergency
But it
pouch here,
Yeah.
but it has other stuff in it to make you sweat. So you like sweat out all
I
the
did.
sick.
it was
So
really
she took it.
weird. It was so hot, and I wasn't even like under the covers. I was just sweating. It was crazy.
That's
And then I
awesome.
felt better, like right after I took it.
Like, can I order this online?
No,
No.
well,
I don't know.
Or is it like one of
Maybe,
those
but-
home remedy things that, like...
no, it's an
Well,
actual
it was from
company.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
You go to the apotheke over there and you just ask them for it.
They're really generous over
I
there.
think.
They like to give you stuff.
Yeah, they're really nice over there.
The what? You said you go to the
It's called apotheke.
Yeah.
apotheke?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's like
It's
this
like
big
the
green
drugstore.
cross.
yeah, the
Everywhere
drugstore
you just
overseas.
look.
Oh, okay.
But the cool part here is if you go up to pharmacies, they have all the techs, and then they've got the other people, and then they're like, oh, we can't tell you about anything. You have to go talk to a pharmacist, and the pharmacist comes over, and he's like, oh, well, we can't tell you anything. You have to go to your doctor. Then you go to the doctor, and your PCP's like, oh, we don't know anything. Go to a specialist.
Yeah.
And then the specialists don't communicate. But you go to an apotheke, and you say, hey, I've got a pain right here. And they're like, oh, okay. And they touch your head, and they're like, oh, yeah,
they
you've
give you
got,
stuff.
you've
They're
got
like
this
doctors.
stuff. And they're like, they actually have medical training. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. Get on board, America. Get on board.
We have a lot coming up today. I'm just taking some notes here from my phone. We have some really cool stuff coming up, actually. We have an interview with the band Train.
Hey, soul sister, ain't that Mr.
That
Mister?
band?
Yeah.
2-time Grammy Award winners, nominated for AMAs and a bunch of other awards.
Yeah, pretty
double
awesome band.
platinum on one album and another platinum, certified platinum on a different album. So we have them coming up. We have actually Loose Band. Tom Loose has had some singles. He was featured, where is that? Okay, so Good Day, Loose's song that Tom wrote, was featured in not only 13 Going on 30, the big movie a couple years ago, but also How to Lose a Guy in
How to
10
Lose a
Days,
Guy in
which
10
was a
Days.
huge splash.
Yeah.
Tom was in the top 10 actually all over the country with his song Buy a Dog and Good Day and some other ones. So it's really cool because Loose is collabing with Train. So we have Tom Loose, Adam Rossi, and actually they're going to be in Adam's studio recording, Rob and Charlie Collin from Train.
Nice.
So Tom, Adam, Rob, and Charlie are going to Skype in from the studio, and we'll actually have an exclusive interview with Train. So that'll be really fun.
Yeah.
And then also I spoke with George Pryor, who is going to come on our show in January.
And I really want to talk with that guy. How do you drink that? Okay, so while I have this thing against soda. I just don't like it. And like, there's someone here at the Best Buy who's pregnant. She was drinking a soda. I grabbed the can from her, started reading the ingredients.
Do you think they were married?
Yeah.
So I really want to talk to this guy because
Well,
why
George
would you
Pryor,
do
for our
that to
viewers,
your
because you
wife?
guys may not know, you probably don't know the name George Pryor, but if you have social media at all or you read, you most likely have heard about the 10 Coke today.
I'm going to do a little experiment over the next 30 days where I make one small change in my diet and see how it affects my health. I've just gotten back from the doctors where I had a complete physical. I'm 50 years old, I'm in good health, and I'm going to also, as I go along, keep records of how my weight changes. I have a blood pressure monitor. I can check my blood pressure as we go. And I also have a blood glucose monitor, so I'll be able to see how my blood sugar levels are affected by the change in the diet. What's the one little change? I'm going to start drinking 10 Cokes a day. That's the only change. It's only 1,400 more calories, but we're going to see what the increased sugar and the increased insulin load, how that affects my health.
See, he actually sells a thing called the Barbecue Dragon. For your barbecue, it clips on, and it's like this little fan, and it blows in your barbecue. So you know how you're there and you're like,
Trying to blow the phone. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It does it
that
for
for
you.
you.
Oh, cool.
So he sells that. That's his full-time job, and he's on the paleo diet, so he only eats natural foods. Has like eggs and bacon for breakfast and salads throughout the day and whatnot. But really in shape. 50 years old, super in shape. His doctor said he has perfect health, so he started drinking 10 Cokes a day. And for 30 days.
Because that's what you do once you have perfect health.
Yeah.
Is you destroy it with 10 Cokes a day.
Was there a reason? Like, did someone ask him to do it?
Well, he and his brother were talking, and he'll go in more
depth.
in depth. But his brother was talking to him, and 10 Cokes a day isn't that much sugar compared to the average American's diet. Because if you think about, it's kind of like water weight. You absorb water through your eyes and other pores and things people don't think about. So with sugar, you eat fruit and other things, and you don't think you're absorbing sugar, but at the same time, fruit has sugar.
Your body
Yeah, but
turns into
that's
glucose
natural.
anyway.
Coffee has sugar, but it doesn't matter because it's still sugar. And he actually will go into what makes you gain weight. So what really makes you gain weight? Because he eats fatty foods like bacon, but he's in
doesn't gain
great health.
That's a lot.
Cool. I'm excited to meet this guy.
That is an interview you want
That's
to see.
an interview you want to do.
Yeah, it's gonna actually be a really good interview. I spoke briefly with him. So go to thetalkaroundtownshow.com, sign up for our members club. It's our free newsletter. And we have George Pryor coming on in January. We've also got a state senator coming on. We have somebody from the House of Representatives. We've got Train coming on. A lot of really great
We got
guests.
a lot of stuff going on.
What's that happening? I'm excited.
So I'm really excited too. So go to thetalkaroundtownshow.com, sign up for our newsletter, and we'll be right back with Dr. Darren Hall.
So cushy. Oh, hi, guys. What's going on? This is Kalyan Master from the Talk Around Town Show, your entertainment host. We're here in Best Buy. I wanted to remind you to check out Best Buy for all of your needs for your home. We've got refrigerators, we've got televisions, we've got DVDs, CDs, and TVs. Everything you need to make your home entertainment awesome. Turn on your life with Best Buy.
Welcome back. Joining us today is Darren Hall with Darren Hall Chiropractic.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you. So I want to know what chiropractic is in a nutshell.
Chiropractic is a complementary medicine to correct misalignments of the spine. A lot of times when the spine will shift out of alignment, it'll actually begin to put pressure on the nervous system, and that'll impede the nervous system from being able to do its function. And ultimately, the nervous system controls every single function in your body.
So can that lead to other illnesses and
Oh, most
conditions?
certainly. In today's society, you're seeing a lot of people are tired of taking medicine. We're taking pills and pills and pills, and people are just getting tired of it. Well, if you pick a nerve and just pick a function, maybe this nerve controls the ability for the stomach to do its job. Well, if this segment is not being pinched and the nerve is sending the message to the stomach is doing exactly what it was intended to do. You're digesting your food and you're feeling great. Well, throughout the course of the day, maybe you slept wrong, maybe you picked up something wrong, and that bone shifts out of alignment. You guys can see on this
Oh, yeah,
little
it's getting
model
pinched.
here
Yeah.
that it's actually getting pinched.
Is
Well,
it that easy to shift out of alignment?
for some of us it is. You take a person who's in great physical shape, who has great muscle tone, they can hold their spine a lot better. You take someone who's the couch potato type of a guy that doesn't have good muscle tone, his back isn't as strong as it should be, so it's very easy for that bone to shift out of alignment.
Okay.
Now, we'll use the analogy, if you're washing your car and I step on the hose, you can still wash your car, but you don't have the amount of water coming out. Well, that's the same. This nerve isn't sending the information to the stomach, so the stomach isn't getting the full amount of information. So it's only working, let's say 50, 60%. And that's where the doctor is going to put you on medicine to help offset what you're not doing, and now you're taking this Tums or you're taking this Nexium,
Right.
and people are tired of it.
But it's
So
still not fixing the problem.
you're treating a symptom. You're not treating the cause. So if we can open that tunnel up and get it going the way it's supposed to, a lot of times these symptoms will settle themselves right down.
Wow.
Wow. So what kind of education and training do chiropractors need?
That's a great question. Every state in the country is a little bit different. So I can tell you all states are going to require you to have at least an associate's degree, but some states are going to say we want you to have a 4-year bachelor degree in some sort of the sciences.
Well, what kind of degree or what education do you have in particular?
Well, I did my undergrad training and then transferred to the chiropractic college in Portland, Oregon, which is an additional 4 years worth of training. It's a 4-year chiropractic program. The difference between a chiropractor and a medical doctor is when we graduate from chiropractic school, we have our doctorate. There's no residency program. We've put all our marbles on manipulation of the spine. When you go to medical school, you're learning the jack of all trades, and your residency is where you're going to put your emphasis. And as a chiropractor, our emphasis is chiropractic and joint manipulation.
As far as people saying chiropractors aren't real doctors and they don't trust in them because they don't know the body, things like that, how involved is the training?
Intense. Think about it. When you're in undergrad, a full-time student is somewhere between 12 and 14 credit hours. When you're going to chiropractic school, I don't remember specifics, but it was sometimes up to 26 to 32 credit hours per semester. It's an 8 to 5 job Monday through Friday in the classroom, plus the homework on the back end of it all.
Wow, all about the human body too.
All about the human body, dissection lab, gross anatomy, dissection, anatomy, physiology, the whole breakdown. One thing that people don't understand is to become a medical doctor and a chiropractor, you have to take your national board exams, and you have to pass, I don't want to say they're the same, but they're basically licensing agencies to prove that you're qualified to do what you're doing. And to become a chiropractor, we take the same licensing exams that medical doctors take.
Wow,
It's
is
a
that the
chiropractic.
MCAT?
No, it's not an MCAT, but it's to get your actual DC degree. There's
Okay.
the National Board of Chiropractic Registry, and you have to take 4 of these chiropractic board exams to prove that you have the education to go and treat the public.
So when somebody gets adjusted, why is there a popping sound?
When you look at the spine, and I'm gonna downplay this because I think this is where medicine is going. Is it's so technical and it doesn't really need to be. But if we take this little model here, where these 2 bones touch, there's actually a little plastic bag around these bones, and it's called a synovial capsule. Okay, inside that synovial capsule is a special fluid that when we move, it kind of like acts like WD-40 to lubricate the joints. Well, when we do a chiropractic adjustment and you stretch the joint to a point, that WD-40 is going to go from a liquid state to a gas state.
Oh, wow.
Think of it as this cup sitting on a hot plate and you're boiling water. If you boil water long enough, the water is going to turn to steam. Steam's going to condense up on whatever the glass, whatever you have, and then eventually what happens? It drops back into the cup. Well, when you take the WD-40 in the joint and you stretch it so far, the water, think of it as going to steam. Now you can't pop it again because it's in a steam. The condensation is sitting up here. It's going to take roughly 21 minutes or so before it condenses back down and turns to water in the cup. So for me to pop that again, potentially I'm going to have to wait 20, 30 minutes before I can do it again.
I had
A
no
lot of
idea.
people think that it's 2 bones,
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
and that is not correct at all. It's the releasing of the fluid. Actually, if 2 bones touch, we would call that arthritis, and as a chiropractor, I'm against that. I want to make sure there's movement and not touching or grinding of the bones.
So when I do this and I'm cracking my fingers and my mom always says, "Oh, that's bad for you."
You'll get
Is that actually
arthritis.
bad for you, or is it doing what it's supposed to?
Well, it's kind of both. It's kind of like an old wives' tale. If you crack your joint over and over and over, I told you guys about that plastic bag. Well, let's just pretend that plastic bag is this thick.
Okay.
Well, if we keep putting a stress through the body, think of your feet, you get a callus and you wear the shoes. What happens if you keep wearing the shoes? The callus gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, if you just keep going and going and going, and you're chronically cracking 30 times a day, your body's going to recognize the stress, so that plastic bag is going to thicken. And remember, you got the bone here and you got the plastic bag here. Well, if the plastic bag keeps thickening, what's going to happen? It's going to encroach on the bone, and that's where you're going to get stiffness.
Oh, okay.
So
really-
Is there a way to reverse that?
the arthritis or the stiffness?
the stiffness, I guess.
I would say the obvious choice would be probably don't crack your knuckles 30 times a day.
Okay.
You know, why do some people feel the need to do it and others don't need to do it? You know, a lot of times I find in my practice that people kind of get addicted to it, and so they just do it, not even aware that they're doing it. So, you know, if a joint doesn't need to be moved and it's in a neutral position, leave it alone. There's no reason to mess with it.
So we're about out of time on the interview, but there's a lot of other things that I want to ask you. Mainly, what kind of insurance does chiropractic take, and also where can people go to find your office? Those are the two big ones.
Great questions. You know, most insurances are offering chiropractic benefits. The research, we've been around long enough to prove that we're getting great success with making sure that the spine's aligned and the body will function properly. So most insurances offer chiropractic benefits. My office is at 8877 West Union Hills, and I take every insurance from Medicare to Blue Cross Blue Shield to Cigna, Aetna, United, you name it. I'm probably a participating provider. Another fact that people don't know is, heaven forbid you're ever involved in an automobile accident. Most people have what we call MedPay on our auto insurance, which is there to help cover the medical expenses, including chiropractic. People get in car crashes and maybe it's 5 miles an hour and they think, oh, that's not a lot. They have this medical insurance sitting on their auto policy. I would encourage people, come and get checked. If you don't need the care, at least you did the evaluation.
And at least get an x-ray, right?
Yeah.
If it's necessary, you know. We always talk about going to the doctor and doing your annual checkup. What about going to the chiropractor and doing your annual checkup there as well? You can't replace the bones of the spine, so you better take care of them.
That makes sense. Well, thank you for being here, and we'll be right back.
Well, if it isn't my good friend Dan Weeks. Hello, Dan. How are you?
Good. How's it going, Colleen?
Going fantastic. I'm here at Best Buy in the phone section.
So am I. That's weird.
That's crazy. I don't see you. Where are you?
Hey guys, I'm Dan Weeks from the Talk Around Town Show. This is Colleen Maston. We're here in the phone section. I'm talking on a Bluetooth. Actually, you're talking on a Bluetooth phone too. These phones connect right to your cell phone, so you walk in your office and immediately an office phone rings. Pretty handy. I have one. So come into Best Buy if you want to check this out, or go to bestbuy.com.
Remember, turn on your life at Best Buy.
Next time you're on the internet, which is probably right now on your smartphone, you should take a look at our website at www.thetalkaroundtownshow.com. Once you're on our website, feel free to click the Get Involved tab and apply to become a guest on our show or become a sponsor. Also, while you're there, click on our Facebook page and give us a like.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Talk Around Town Show. Today we've got a fantastic guest, Brian Trubel, who's a local MMA fighter. Brian, pleasure to meet you.
Thank you very much.
So, first question, what is your martial arts discipline?
Muay Thai. I've been doing only Muay Thai, which is all stand up. It's considered an art of 8 limbs. So you got your jabs, your cross, your elbows, your knees, and your kicks. So
8, but you only
8
have
limbs.
4
Right.
limbs.
You got 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 knees, 2 elbows.
8.
8.
Okay. So they're all applied as weapons.
Correct.
Okay, that's fantastic. So were you trained by like a little like
Thai guy?
Thai
Yeah.
guy?
Paul Mateo was my...
Oh, you were?
Yes, I
Oh,
was.
okay.
Nope.
I saw that going like to the hills of somewhere overseas, right?
No, it
High
was
up in the
here.
mountains.
It was here, but it was from a traditional Muay Thai fighter,
Okay.
Paul Mateo, who grew up in Thailand, came over here to America to make a better life for himself, and started teaching Muay Thai back in the 80s and 90s, and then he himself fought as well. And then I started training with him about 6 years ago, and he retired. And so I'm now with Grace Fighting Systems.
So how long have you been fighting?
This January will be 7 years.
Wow.
7 years.
Yeah.
Dedication.
Now you guys can't see this, but I noticed under the table like your shins are really bruised.
Yeah.
Like doing the training, does it like kill your nerve endings in your
Yeah.
shins or something like that?
It takes some time, but within the first year, if you're consistent and with the training, your shins, after a while, you don't feel it. You'll bruise still, but like walk in the middle of the night, kick the cocktail, like, oh,
What
that's
happened?
cool.
Oh, I'm bleeding.
Right? And so that's the nice thing about Muay Thai is like, I
So
don't
you're a
have to worry about that.
superhero.
I wish.
Well, that's hence the shirt.
That's
Hence
right.
the- exactly. So your shins are superheroes.
Yeah, that's right. My shins
Like,
can take a beat.
whack! I'm sorry, I didn't feel that. I am Shin Man.
The S does fit.
It does fit. So you're are you a trainer as well? Because you've been doing it for 7 years.
I
or-
help. I was teaching for a while there, but I've now come back and focused on my fighting. trying to make it like into a career now instead of just a hobby.
And you've got to fight this Friday.
That is correct. Friday, this at 7 p.m. Gates open, Arizona Event Center out Mesa. My fight will probably be around 10 o'clock because I'm fighting for the USMTA 175 title.
Oh,
It's pretty exciting.
Yes.
nice.
Good fight to go to.
We might have to like go and like check that out and like interview you afterwards and like
Perfect.
when he wins,
That's
you
right.
can be like whatever your girlfriend's name is. You can be
Samantha.
like Samantha, I did it. No,
I'll be having the belt on. And all that, yeah.
Colleen, he kind of went a little rocky there. I saw the face. Right?
No, but I mean, in my opinion, my martial arts discipline is American Kempo. I haven't trained in a while. Want to get back into it. But what I find is that as far as fitness is concerned, boxers and MMA fighters are some of the fittest athletes,
I agree.
in my opinion, just because, I guess the way you guys train and, I mean, just punching at hand pads is a pain in the butt. I couldn't imagine what it's like because the Muay Thai bags are different than boxing
Yep.
bags, right?
Yeah, they're what they consider banana bags.
Okay.
They're about 6 feet tall, ranging from 100 to 150 pounds. And your goal is every time you hit it is to move it. And so you're doing that repetitive motion over and over and over again. You're going between coach to training to partner work for hour, 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes. 6 days a week right now, that's what I'm doing because of my fight. So, and then you got your training outside of the gym. You got your running or what they call road work. Going out running multiple miles for time, doing your sprint, interval type running.
Oh God, I hate suicide sprints.
Yeah, and then doing any type of strength training you can to maintain your muscle as you're
Yeah.
going through this. So,
So there's a couple questions that are in my mind. I'm sure they're in our viewers' minds as well. First one being, do you ever get tired of being beat up? Like when you're in the
He's
ring.
like, hey, he doesn't get beat up. He beats people up.
True, but with the possibility, I'm sure a lot of people out there, because we have a mixed viewership,
Yeah.
a lot of people have never done any martial arts disciplines or things like that. So what does it take to get in the ring and face that?
I'll tell you right now, getting in the ring is probably one of the scariest things as a first-time fighter. I remember my first 5 fights walking into the ring and just hoping a national disaster would happen. Where I'm like, all right, I'm here. I told everybody I'm going to be here, but oh man, there's a hurricane. I can't fight, guys. I'm sorry. But I wanted to. But it's like that until you get into the ring. But once you cross through that ropes and you're in the ring and you're looking out over the crowd and people are there supporting you and you're just all the training, all the hard work, sweat, blood, and tears that you put into your training, it's just something clicks. Well, for me, it did. It clicked where I was in there. I was like, all right, this is game time. This is where I need to prove myself. This is everything I've done led me up to here. And the butterflies go away, especially after the first round. You get like loosened up and you're ready to go. And it's I can't explain the rush. It's way different than because I played football, I've done track, I've wrestled, but the rush of walking into a ring and seeing the other guy across from you, knowing that he's trained just as hard as you have, his goal is to win as well, and it's pretty much a chess match. Who has the best moves, who has the best cardio, who has the best endurance, who's had the best training, all that comes down to that 2 to 3 minute round, either 3 to 5 rounds. So it's, I can't explain it, but it's just a rush that, especially if you're an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man.
It's like
Wow.
gladiators walking into a Roman
Oh yeah.
arena.
You just, and you walk out of the ring, and especially with your hand up, it's just, I can't explain the feeling. It's just,
So if people want to see that, it's you said Mesa.
correct. It's in Mesa at the Arizona Event Center.
Okay.
You can go to their website, www.arizonaeventcenter.com, and get tickets there, or you can call me personally, 602-592-6537, or email me at briantrubel@gmail.com, and you can get tickets cheaper now. 18 for our general admission, and then 25 for ringside.
Okay.
And then if
Oh,
you go the
that's not
night
bad.
of, it's 35 for general and 45 for
Oh
ringside.
yeah.
So definitely worth
So
getting
Yes,
at it.
so
Definitely
give me a call,
get at
and I
him.
could definitely get you cheaper tickets. So-
Nice.
Well, I think
And
you'll probably
that's
get a
this
lot
Friday?
of calls, but probably not about tickets, more training.
More
and
training.
Well,
questions
that works
and
too. Yeah,
things
they can
like
come
that.
on down and do training with Grace Fighting Systems any time of the week. We're located right off of 27th Avenue in Union Hills, right behind the Johnson Lincoln Hospital there.
Perfect.
Yeah. I think a director friend of mine trains with them. I believe. I think. I'm not positive.
Yeah, they have tons of classes. They go not just Muay Thai. They also do MMA like judo, jiu-jitsu,
Okay.
wrestling, boxing, all that. They do everything there. They have their schedule up on their website and their Facebook page, so you can go visit. Just put in Grace Fighting Systems, and it pulls it right up for you.
Fantastic. So I did have one more question.
Yes.
Have you ever kicked over a banana tree?
I have not. I wanted to. We're driving by those banana trees. I just want to park my car, go out there and just kick it until the neighbor comes out like, I just want to do this. Well, I definitely want everybody to come out and watch me. So I'm definitely going to be there, put on a show just like my last fight.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So
gas it
the
out.
doors open when?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, and then you'll be fighting around.
Probably around 10 o'clock
Around
because
10
I'm
o'clock.
one of the title fights. And so there's
Okay.
10 undercard fights, and then there's 3 title fights.
So you can come in, like if I have something to do, like an event Friday night, I can get a ticket from you, and then I can come in.
Anytime you want.
You know, anytime.
Right.
Okay, fantastic. Sweet. Well, Brian, thank you so much for coming out and speaking with us, man.
Thank
I wish
you.
you all the luck in the world on your fight.
Greatly appreciate
Bob and
it.
weave. I don't know if that's what
Yeah, they can do that.
but-
Yeah, bob and weave,
Bob
check,
and weave, check.
all that.
You know.
Thank you very
Man,
much.
Good luck on your fight, brother.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. And guys, we'll be right back.
Here we go. Put it around, ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear you.
Where there is love, there is life. Marriage is a mosaic you build with your spouse. Millions of tiny, unforgettable moments that create your love story.
My closest friend,
My faithful partner in life,
my faithful partner in life,
in sickness and in health,
in joy and in sorrow,
in joy and in sorrow,
through the good times and the bad.
Start your story off right by letting us record the important events in your life. Weeks Productions, LLC, your complete media solution.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Talk Around Town show. It's time for the entertainment segment, and I'm going to spend the entire time.
Well, it was the entertainment segment with Brian, but
Oh, well,
but over break,
yeah.
Colleen, we got into the Hobbit discussion, so naturally,
Yeah.
we have to spend.
We
the
have
last
to
part of
spend
this
the last
show.
part of the show on The Hobbit. We have to. Why? Because it's the 17th, and it came out today. Well, for those of us who are super geeks, we went and saw it at midnight, or if you're in the entertainment industry, you get to see things early.
like 2 weeks early.
2 weeks early,
We
yeah.
I get pre-screening tickets to everything, like, and she
I
gets
do,
it. Well, she
actually.
gets them and takes me, but we get them.
I do, actually. So, Courtney
So
was...
yeah, explain The Hobbit to me. I know there's Lord of the Rings and then The Hobbit. There's like I don't know.
Okay, so J.R.R. Tolkien, genius, literary genius. He wrote The Hobbit first.
But it didn't come out first.
It did not, no. So he wrote The Hobbit, movie-wise. He wrote The Hobbit first, and the story goes that he was sitting down one day, and the first line he wrote was, "In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit."
Isn't that how like every movie starts though, or something? Or
Well,
where have I heard that? Has that been in the movie?
It's been in a movie in the late 70s. Rankard Bass did an animated version of The Hobbit, and that's how it starts. In the hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit.
I want
And
to know how you
so-
know all this. Like, how do you keep all that in your head?
Because The Hobbit was the first book I ever read.
Very
Oh,
first.
okay.
Like, well, not the very first. I mean, go spot, go, hop on, pop, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. But the first actual book,
Okay.
like where you got to sit, you better read this thing, and it just pulled me in. And then I watched the movie, the little animated movie, and I was hooked. Now, there are some people, I have a friend named Quan Vadrine, who is just ridiculous about it, knows everything.
Wow.
But basically, he wrote the book, and then he wound up writing The Lord of the Rings, which is a trilogy. And so...
So why
Peter-
did they come out with the Lord of the Rings first movie?
because I don't know why they did that first.
I was gonna say maybe budgetary.
Budgetary
but if you look
reasons
at
or
their
something,
budget, it
right?
was
So I don't know
huge.
why they did that first, but I think that Peter Jackson. The story goes that Peter Jackson he started Weta VFX, and I think it's Weta, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the first film that they did was The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox, and they had all these computers that they had just got, and someone was kicking around the idea we should do The Hobbit because they live in New Zealand or what have you, and it's beautiful and it's green. We should do The Hobbit. And then it went from there. So red tape, snip, industry movie stuff, that most people understand. They wind up doing The Lord of the Rings first. I believe it was because MGM had the rights to The Hobbit
One of
first.
those.
So that's why we see in Lord of the Rings, it's just New Line Cinema.
Okay.
And then with The Hobbit, it's New Line Cinema and
MGM Grand.
MGM Grand.
Or wait, is Grand the hotel?
Or
Just
MGM.
MGM, right?
Yeah.
MGM.
I was just in Vegas.
So
a couple weeks ago.
get out and see The Hobbit. It is the Battle of the Five Armies, which I've been waiting to see since I was 7 years old.
So is this the last?
This is it.
The last one?
We will have no other trips to Middle Earth. This is it. It's done.
So if people have never seen the movies, should they start with The Hobbit first and then like how?
Yeah,
how do
you
watch it?
what I would suggest is the order should be the Hobbit films and then the Lord of the Rings films.
Well, you know what's gonna happen? I bet. Okay, so I'm addicted to right now. It's Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Netflix. It's
really good, yeah.
Such a good show, and there's a spoiler that I really want to ruin. One of the main characters, who can't really say
Well,
anymore,
don't
but you
ruin
know what
it.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They're gonna pull that, I think, with The Hobbit. I think they're gonna do something with Middle Earth, and all of a sudden it's gonna get kind of Heroes-ish, where, oh my God, all of a sudden he can regenerate and something happens. And
Yeah, and they very well may. But what Peter Jackson was saying is that for now we won't have any more forays into Middle Earth because the Tolkien estate owns the rest of his writings. Because there's a bunch of other stuff. There's a Silmarillion, which is a really hard read. There's a whole bunch of other histories and all the rest of that could happen, that they could have all these stories about and take some liberties with.
Okay.
But for now, the Battle of the Five Armies is it. So Bilbo and the dwarves, Owen, Glóin, Biffa, Boffa, Bumba, Kili, Fili, Dori, Nori, Ori, Thorin.
I think you're just making up stuff now.
No, there's 13 dwarves and they have names,
What?
dang it.
You got 11 out of 13.
I got 11 out of
Right?
13, but I
Close
can't
enough.
remember the other two. But, and along with Gandalf the Grey, who was played by the fantastic and brilliant Ian McKellen. He's
I
a
want him on the show.
genius.
How awesome would that be to have Gandalf sitting in
Gandalf sitting. Hello there. Yes. Well, Tolkien is the genius. He's great. So there's going to be an epic battle at the end between the dwarves and goblins that are riding wargs and ogres and eagles and elves. 5 armies.
So it's like War of the World.
Basically, War of
Why
Middle
didn't, in the very first Lord of the Rings, why didn't they just like get on an eagle and fly?
Because that just ruins the story. You know what? It's like there was a movie called The Page Master, and when the little boy asked the Page Master, he said, "You know what I've been through?" He said, "Yeah, but what kind of an adventure would you have had I brought you here with a snap of my fingers or with a turn of a page? It wouldn't be an adventure."
True.
But it
Yeah,
would
I
be a
can
lot
jump on
like-
the
Pretty much
eagle
every
and
movie.
fly all the way to Mordor and drop the ring. Mordor. And drop the ring into the fire from
From the
way
eagle?
above.
Yeah.
And it would be easy. But it takes the human element out of the story. Because there's always an easy way to do it. But with everything in life, right? There's always an easy way to do it. But if you do it the easy way, no growth happens. Heartbreak gives us size.
It's true.
You know, you never know. I really
True.
feel like even the Greek myth of Pandora's box opening, I liken that to maybe a broken heart. When your heart breaks, all this stuff comes out. But the question is, what's left? Is there hope left? Is there joy left? You know, so please go and see this movie. Not that I have to tell you guys that,
deep.
because you're probably going to go and see it, because it's amazing. I've already seen it, but I'm going to go see it again in IMAX. I think it's in 3D. I don't know, but I'm going to see
I'm
it.
sure it's in 3D.
So
Yeah.
go check it out, guys. Go check it out.
I want to point out we got new mugs. These aren't the new ones. I didn't bring
Yeah,
new
these
ones,
aren't.
but
Oh, they're not?
it's
No.
like the same exact thing, but there's black ones now. We got some black, and then online on the
Ooh.
talkaroundtownshow.com, if you click on shop, the mug changes, or the handle changes color based on the temperature, which I think is pretty awesome.
That's pretty sweet. Don't touch that cup. It's scalding. I'm going to pick it up anyway. Ah!
I don't think the handle burns you.
No, but the handle changes
Handle
color.
changes color.
Because I mean, Callion's probably one of those guys that goes like that and sticks his finger inside it.
I wonder if it's hot or not. There's steam coming out of it. I still want to try.
I just had a Jim Carrey flashback. But so we got that, and then also we love working with local businesses. So if
Yeah.
you guys want to become a sponsor on our show or get your product seen, go to thetalkaroundtownshow.com, and under the About page, there's a thing that says Become a Sponsor.
I can even come up with a really cool slogan for you.
Yeah. He's pretty good at that.
He can. Best Buy, Turn on Your Life.
Turn on your life with Best Buy.
Yeah, that one.
That was all him.
All me, baby.
I like that slogan. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. This has been the Talk Around Town show, and we'll see you next week.